Hey everybody, we're two metalheads.
Yes, we are.
I'm Mario.
And I am James, the last time I checked.
Well, I almost slipped something in there when you paused before your name.
I did leave a little fucking room, didn't I?
Yeah, and I was like,
Walked right into it, my cheek spread.
Zoom is gonna fuck this up, and you're not gonna catch it.
Hmm.
But so I know one of the episodes we were talking about. I think it was when we were talking about the comedy movies.
Yes.
We talked about doing sitcoms. So here we are. That's what we're gonna talk.
Comedy sitcoms.
And I don't know about you, but I don't have a ton of stuff from the 2000s in my head that were really funny.
Not really.
There's shows that like I found amusing. Like there's shows that like I found entertaining or amusing. Like like Two and a Half Men. I liked that show. It was amusing,
That was okay.
but I didn't find it hilarious or anything. It was
No, I
entertaining.
wasn't fucking, yeah, exactly. I wasn't falling off the furniture and pounding on the floor.
No, it was entertaining. I think one
Yeah.
one thing that we might have to do one day, and I don't know if you want to include it in this or not, is the cartoons.
I was thinking about that too. Yeah, I think cartoons have to be included, man, because there's some fucking fantastic ones.
Those I think are the funniest.
Yeah, because you get away with a lot more.
Like
You
South Park.
definitely get away with a lot more.
Yeah. You want to add those in today?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right. So
I mean, if we're going cartoons, it's obviously Family Guy,
Family Guy and South Park,
Simpsons.
they used to be. It's kind of
That's the thing. I've noticed that too. Is like I liked The Simpsons a lot back in the day when it first came out, and then it started to get real old. And I think South Park was a lot to do with that.
maybe. I mean, you had Beavis and Butthead that was pretty crazy at first too.
I love Beavis and Butthead.
But they didn't last long enough to get boring. So
That's true. They kind of like faded out pretty quickly.
yeah.
I thought King of the Hill was really funny.
I didn't really get into that one. American Dad is good.
American Dad's very good. Yes,
Yeah.
I like that one too.
Trying to think about Aqua Teen Hunger Force was funny.
I forgot about that one. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just racking my brain remembering like the things that I liked that were funny. Yeah,
Aqua
that's
Teen
fun.
Hunger Force is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I liked the first two seasons of Rick and Morty.
I still watch it.
I got it got played out for me because everybody all of a sudden fell in love with it.
I think the voice changes kind of messed me up too. Like I think
Those voice changes?
didn't they fire the guy that did like the voice of Rick because he had some sort of weird he got canceled or something, I think. I could be
I don't remember hearing about that, but I probably was done watching the show at that
I
point.
could be completely wrong. And it's like it seems like it's somebody doing an imitation of him now. So it's
That
like
could be.
but
That could be.
yeah, I still kind of like the show though. It's not the
Yeah,
same.
I sort of fell out of it because like every fucking all of a sudden at once everybody in the world was like, "Yeah, Pickle Rick," and I'm like, "All right, it's like that was good, but come on."
Do you remember Mr. Pickles? You ever watch
I
that?
never really liked that one very
The
much.
Satanic Dog?
Yeah, it was okay.
What about remember there was a show and here we go it's a sitcom where it was normal people. I think it was Son of Zorn, but like the main Zorn was a cartoon guy and he was in the show and this is recent, like maybe 5 years ago recent. But I think it was two seasons. No? And
No,
he was like a Conan character. He's just a big dumb barbarian trying to work in an office. He had an ex-wife, and his son was a regular person, but he was like a cartoon. But his son had like cartoon legs. It was really weird. But
yeah, that sounds very fucking odd.
it was a regular channel. It was like on Fox or something.
Okay, yeah, that's you know what I haven't had cable for a few years,
It was on Fox.
so it's
You didn't
what's
have
that?
it was on Fox.
Yeah, but I don't get Fox.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay.
No, no, we're streaming everything now because cable is so fucking expensive now over here.
Yeah, it's not good over here either. And it's like, um, at some points you're like, well, what if I cancel? Like they give you like the three-in-one deal, where it's like internet, telephone, and cable.
Yeah,
And it's like, well, what if I cancel the telephone? I don't use it. Oh, well, then it'll cost more. Why
right. They pulled that shit on us too.
doesn't make any fucking sense?
Exactly. Yeah, they pulled that shit on us too, and then we were like, look, we're either leaving you or we're going to get rid of the landline and the television and you're going to give us a deal on the internet and that's it, and they wound up giving us a deal on the internet.
Honestly, I think if I did that, I wouldn't miss a whole lot.
I once in a while I miss Jeopardy because I love that show,
Yeah, we watch that too sometimes.
and I miss watching the Mets when I want to be able to watch the Mets, but that's like it doesn't destroy my life.
Well, if you have like Disney, doesn't it have ESPN also?
I don't have Disney Plus. I got
Oh,
it for a month just to watch the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction
okay.
for Ozzy, and then I watched a couple other things on it real quick before we lost it, but I got rid of it after a month.
Yeah, they have like Star Wars stuff on there, and
Yeah.
yeah, I like it usually. But you know, I mean, YouTube TV is not terrible, but it keeps going up in price, and eventually it's just going to be the same thing as cable.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, of
so
course.
yeah, what do you do? But eventually, I'll probably end up just getting streaming services, and between all the streaming services and the cable and internet, it's you know,
There's plenty of shit for you to watch.
you're paying like $300 a month for all this shit. You know,
Yeah.
like and I don't even really watch TV. I mostly just read. I don't give a shit about most of the shows on anymore. I watch
Same.
a lot of like America's not America, like unsolved mystery, history, mystery shit.
Yeah.
And then like other than that, I don't. Are there any funny sitcoms that you watch now?
I would say the newest funny sitcom that I watch is Everybody Loves Raymond.
No, that's not new at all. Wasn't that? Didn't that
That's
start?
not new at all.
Didn't that start in the 90s?
I believe it did. I think it's mainly a 2000s sitcom, but I think it started at the end of the 90s. That and King of Queens.
King of Queens.
Whenever
Yeah.
there's
That was
fucking
90s, late 90s.
yeah,
Yeah.
whenever there's like they show repeats of that, I'll fucking sit and watch that. Especially Everybody Loves Raymond. Like you got to love that because you grew up with an Italian mom.
Ugh.
So you
But
fucking
that's a lot like the plastic on the furniture and like that was my grandma.
yes.
That was my grandma.
Oh, that was more like your grandmother.
On my
Okay.
dad's side, that was the plastic on the furniture. Yep, that was my grandma.
Yeah. Constantly cleaning, constantly cooking,
Yep,
constantly forcing food down your
yeah.
throat, constantly guilt tripping you into doing shit for
Oh,
them.
one more spoon. Yeah, okay. No, I said one.
Uh huh.
One.
Yeah. Have another bucket full.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about the newest sitcoms that I got on my fucking list, man. I've got like
Yeah, my
Three's
list is
Company.
pretty old too. So I have
Uh,
I found the list online of like sitcoms from the 80s and 90s, and it was supposed to be like the top rated 100.
okay, let's hear
Want to
this.
go through these real quick because you can see if you listen,
Yeah.
if you watched it or not. So here's one that I kind of want to watch and I never did. Cheers.
I've seen a few episodes of that because I had a massive crush on Kirstie Alley when I was a teenager. So I watched a few episodes of it. It's fine. Nothing mind blowing. Never had a moment where I was like, oh my God, that was fucking hilarious. It was more just moments of like, wow, Kirstie Alley looks so good.
Well,
And that's about it.
we were really young when it was on. It aired from like 82 to 93.
Yeah, but it was in syndication too.
Oh
So
yeah,
it was
absolutely.
always on.
Yeah. So okay, that was the first one. Here's another one. So when this was on, Frasier, when it was on. I didn't give a shit.
Neither did I.
But recently, and maybe like the past 2 or 3 years, I watched it and I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's definitely for adults.
I'd say within about the past 10 to 13 years or so, watching reruns of Frasier, I've been like, wow, this is actually really fucking funny.
Yeah. But he came from Cheers, which is why I wanted to maybe watch Cheers.
Yes.
So
Yes.
number three, and this is one of my favorites and still hilarious. Want to take a guess? It's not on anymore, but it's still hilarious if you went back and watched it.
Mm, Family Matters.
No. Married with Children.
Oh, how did I fucking blank on that? Absolutely.
Still one of the best. Even
Absolutely.
the
Married with
goofy
Children
later
rules.
seasons that were kind of like what's happening here, but
Yeah, there was weird seasons with Six, right? What that was the new kid.
yeah, where the parents just dropped them off and left. Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then all of a sudden he
But
remember there was a whole season where Peg and Marcy were pregnant. And then all of a sudden there was no kid.
wow, I don't remember that.
I think they played it off like it was a dream, but I don't remember I don't remember exactly. Yeah, there was a whole like
Cool.
long thing where they were pregnant
I do not remember
together.
that.
It might have been later
Okay.
on. I wonder if that was the last season and that's why I don't remember anything ever coming of it, but I don't think
Yeah,
so.
it could be.
Yeah, and like she would be eating, and then Bud and Kelly would be like, "Where's our food?" And they weren't getting any.
Oh, of course. Yeah. There was never food in that fucking house.
Well, yeah. So Happy Days, that was early '80s. It ended.
I
Eh,
liked Happy Days.
I didn't see enough of it to really care. It was, by the time it ended, I was like two. So
Right.
in the
Yeah, same.
syndication,
Like,
by the time I saw it in syndication, eh, you know,
yeah, I watched it in syndication because my mother loved it. So I would sit with her watching TV and it was on and I would just watch it. I never had a like, holy shit, that's hilarious moment, but I watched it.
exactly. So far, the only one that had a hilarious moment was Married with Children, probably, and Frasier had its moments where it was funny.
Yeah.
The Jeffersons, I never really,
I love the Jeffersons.
yeah, I never really watched it.
Love them. Great show. Cool fucking back and forth between George and fucking Tom and George and Bentley, where he'd fucking call them honkies all the time and shit.
Did,
Fucking great. And Florence, the housekeeper, holy shit, great burns in that show about how George is like a midget. Fucking awesome.
the problem with like this and Happy Days is like it started in the mid '70s,
Right.
so we had to watch it probably in the '90s, you know.
Yeah, I would say late 80s, early 90s is when I was watching the Jeffersons.
Yeah, there's
But it
another
was still
one.
funny to me. And whenever I flip past it, and I'm like, oh my God, the Jeffersons are on, I leave it on and I laugh my ass off.
Yeah, I've never really uh MASH.
I don't give a shit about MASH.
Yeah, me neither.
I know everybody says it's like one of the greatest and funniest things that's ever fucking existed, but I never thought it was funny.
Here's one I don't give a shit about. Will and Grace.
No, me neither.
I think that was more of like a girl show.
Girls and
Yeah.
homosexual men.
Yeah. Friends, kind of the same category there.
Yeah, everybody fucking sweats that show.
I didn't give a shit.
I did not give a fuck when it was on, except for looking at Jennifer Aniston. I always had a thing for her.
Well, wasn't that the show where most of them like they always had like the nipples poking through their shirts?
Yes,
That was like
yes, it
that was like
is.
a weird '90s thing where I don't even know if that was real. Like if they were real or they just put that in there. Like if they put something in their
Or if they
shirt.
made the set cold, so
Yeah, I
we're
don't know.
fucking,
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but that was a '90s thing that a lot of shows had that.
and it was a very cool thing too.
If you watch, but it's mostly women watching it, probably.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like my mother would watch it, and I'd stop and be like, "Oh my God, Jennifer Aniston is gorgeous," but then, eh,
Yeah.
fucking what's his face? Rachel. Fucking what his annoying voice. Fuck him.
So the Drew Carey show. Remember that?
Loved it.
I liked that one.
Loved it. I don't know if it holds up,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
but I
Office,
loved it back then.
Roseanne.
Love it. Still love it. I'll watch reruns of that nowadays, and I still love that. And I was talking with Christine before, and she brought up a really good point about that show. Is it's very relatable if you grew up in a lower middle class house where you struggled a little bit and you lived paycheck to paycheck and sometimes it was hard to pay the bills, sometimes there wasn't a lot of food in the fridge. Like you really relate to a lot of the shit that they go through. And the broad that played Roseanne's sister, Laurie Metcalf, was fucking funny, and so was John Goodman.
Yeah, John Goodman was good. Yeah.
John Goodman was fucking funny in that.
Family Matters. I liked
Love
it.
it.
I don't know if it would be hilarious to us now.
Yeah, I don't know about that because I haven't seen an episode of it in a very, very long
Oh,
time.
it's on BET a lot. So
Oh, okay. Well, I don't get BET, so I wouldn't be able to watch it. But yeah, that I loved it back then. Definitely.
yeah, me too. Everybody Loves Raymond. We already talked about that one.
Yep.
One Day at a Time. I don't know what that is.
One day at a time. I think that's what fucking what's his name is Schneider is the maintenance guy, and he's always hitting on everybody. I think Valerie Bertinelli was on that.
Uh, no, Bonnie Franklin, Pat Harrington Jr. And, oh yeah, Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah,
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 but
it
it's like
was
another one from
okay.
this in the mid '70s. So it's then
Right.
King of Queens we talked about. Home Improvement. I liked it, but I don't think it was hilarious.
Same.
It was
I
more
never was
fun.
like howling
It
at
was
it, but
yeah,
it was funny.
it was entertaining. Alice,
Eh.
um, The Facts of Life.
The Facts of Life I watched a lot, but I never thought it was overly hilarious.
I never really watched it.
I had a thing for Nancy McKean, who played Joe on the show. She was a really
Like
good looking chick,
like the bad
but
girl.
that's kind of the main reason I watched it.
That '70s show.
Eh,
Yeah, I
eh,
remember, I saw a lot of it because when it came out, it was '98 to 2006.
yeah,
Somewhere in there, I don't remember who it was. I was dating somebody that watched it, and I
okay.
would just like nod off the half hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
Uh,
were some episodes that were okay, but again, nothing I ever laughed,
yeah, like
howled at.
I think it might have been that would be a show that might be better now.
Maybe,
Like
yeah.
all the smoking pot and everything, and back then I just didn't care. Uh, Coach, I watched that.
Wow, I watched a lot of that. I forgot about Coach.
Yeah,
I watched a lot of that with my mom, man. Wow. Forgot about that fucking show. I remember not like beating on the fucking walls, dying laughing, but I remember it being pretty fucking funny sometimes.
that might have been a show that when it was on, we were 89. We might have not gotten a lot of it, you know?
Maybe. I mean, a lot of it was like just kind of fucking basic humor. It was very family friendly.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. Like I remember watching it, but I couldn't tell you any of the episodes, you know?
Same, yeah.
Uh, The Cosby Show.
Oh, thank God they put that in there, of course. Cosby Show is still great. I'll still watch episodes, and I don't care who says what. I understand he was a piece of shit. I get it, but he was a funny piece of shit, and he made me laugh a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely a funny show. Um, and it was on for 8 years.
That's a long fucking time.
Yeah, 84 to 92.
That's because he was so family friendly.
Yeah, I'm
You know, everybody loved him. He was like America's dad.
yeah.
Ghost dad, you see.
So here's another one. 84 to 92 also. Who's the boss? Samantha.
Angela. Um,
I don't remember that being funny.
no. No.
I
Another
remember
one that I did
watching it.
watch
Yeah, I watched
from
it. Alyssa
time to
Milano.
time, but it never like really it was like, oh, I have to watch Who's the Boss. It's something where was like, it's just on right now. I'll just watch it.
It was entertaining, but
Yeah.
yeah. Mona, the mom, the horny like older mom lady, who was probably only in her 40s in that show. Um,
Yes.
she was funny.
Yeah, she was pretty good. She wound up being the mother-in-law on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Uh, another one from 84 to 92, Night Court. I didn't
Love it.
I didn't watch it. My grandpa
Love
would
it.
watch that and I couldn't. It was on at night, I think. I
It
couldn't
was a nighttime show.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I
Me and
think
my
it
mom used to watch that together before she went out to work.
I was probably 5 years old and it was in a couple seasons in by then and I just was like, I don't get this. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of like hijinks related to court, but it's fucking funny. I actually just watched an episode of it this morning. Me and Christine went to Hamden last night. We took an Uber out there and went to a metal show, and we stayed at a hotel overnight. And fucking woke up this morning, put the TV on. Fucking Night Court was on. I watched an episode of it before we checked out. It's fucking funny.
Uh, Full House.
Another one I never thought was hilarious, but boy, did I watch a lot of episodes of it.
I watched it religiously, but I
Yeah.
don't remember ever like sitting there dying laughing about it, which is weird because Bob Saget and Dave Coulier are comedians.
Yes, and Dave Coulier had some funny moments on that show if I remember correctly. But
It was
Bob
more because
Saget was more of like the straight dad guy.
but Dave Coulier was funny because he was like the idiot that
Yeah,
lived
he
in
was a goofball.
yeah, the goofball that lived in the basement. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
I really like what Jodie Sweetin has turned into.
a crackhead?
Well, she was into meth for a while, but no, she's straight now. But
Oh,
she is a knockout,
yeah,
absolutely a knockout. There's a reason why they called the reboot Fuller Blouse. Let's just put it that way.
I didn't watch it. Yeah. Newhart.
Never watched it.
Like I like Bob Newhart, but I didn't watch it either. Different Strokes.
Different Strokes was fucking good.
Yeah.
Can't say that it was very hilarious,
Well,
but
it was
it was
pretty
good.
funny. It's pretty funny when Arnold left Dudley in the bike shop.
Stupid Dudley,
The guy that
fucking
wanted to give
basically
them wine
begging
and
to
have
be
them watch,
molested.
give them wine and have them watch cartoons, adult cartoons.
Why did that mouse lose his pants? That
Uh,
was a good show.
Laverne and Shirley. I didn't watch that.
I really didn't watch that either.
That barely made it into the 80s anyway.
Yeah.
The Golden Girls.
Ugh.
Oh
So like I live in Golden Girls universe
yeah.
because that's Christine's favorite show of all time. Every time something new Golden Girls comes out, I buy it. There's a Golden Girls shrine on the fucking wall in the bedroom.
Wow.
She has to watch it every night to go to sleep. It's
That how
like a
you,
comfort thing.
is that how you blam? Just take a look at the Golden
Yeah,
Girls.
I got to look at B. Arthur and fucking blam.
Fire one
So
off.
here's a funny story about last night. So we go to this hotel. Now, Christine has a portable DVD player, and of course, she has every season of Golden Girls on DVD. There was seven of them. So I'm like, please don't bring Golden Girls to the hotel. Like, give your boy a break. And every single night and every Sunday morning, I have to hear the theme song. It's on all the time. Please give me a break. Come home from the show last night, good and drunk, put the TV on, about to go to bed. The only channel that would work last night was showing Golden Girls.
Of course.
Of course, because why wouldn't it?
So where we're gonna
Funny
run
show. I've seen every episode 50 billion times. Very funny show, written well, lots of great fucking Blanche is a whore lines, lots of great fucking Dorothy is ugly lines, lots of great your tits are too small lines. But I'm over it.
around.
I'm over it.
So we have like 8 minutes left. So we could either plow through this real quick or keep going and do another episode and continuation of.
Yeah, we'll do a continuation of.
All right, so we'll keep going until we get to what's it? Three's Company. I think you mentioned that.
Love it.
Yeah. I
Love it.
watched
And I've even
I would watch
recently
it.
watched episodes where I laughed at it.
Okay. Mad About You. I did not watch that.
Me neither. Didn't care about it. Helen
Okay.
Hunt was an ugly woman. Was she in that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an ugly woman.
Family Ties?
I feel like I watched Family Ties back in the day, but I definitely never really laughed at it. Is that the one with Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I'd probably watch it for nostalgia reasons, but I don't think it ever really made me laugh.
Yeah, me neither. Seinfeld.
I can't stand Seinfeld.
I am not a giant fan of Seinfeld either. I watched it when it was on and it was okay.
I mean, everybody else in the world worships that show, but I just don't think Jerry Seinfeld's a very funny guy.
Well, the guy that played George Costanza was good, but it's for me, it was like one episode. I don't need to see it again. I'm good at it, you know.
Same,
I it was
same.
funny the first time. The second time, it's just like, all right, you know.
I prefer Michael Richards when he's on stage at a comedy show and screaming at the crowd. That's my favorite Michael Richards work.
He was funny there.
He certainly was hilarious.
Uh, Wings? I don't know what that
Never
is.
watched it.
I don't know. Yeah. Barney Miller?
Never watched it.
Me neither. Empty Nest. That sounds familiar.
It's a Golden Girls offshoot. Um, yeah, even Christine really doesn't care about that one, so I got to say it doesn't really fucking matter.
All right. Designing Women? Wasn't that with oh, Delta Burke?
Delta Burke.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think I
no,
saw a
I never
couple,
watched
but
that.
man, Growing Pains. That I remember.
I remember that
The
with
boner.
Kirk Cameron. Never made me laugh. Probably
Wasn't
watched a
there
few episodes of it.
didn't they have like some girl that was supposed to play his girlfriend on the show and she was like in Playboy and he refused to work with her?
I think so. Yeah,
What a
he's
dick.
a really weird uber religious guy.
Yeah, but you're acting. You're supposed to pretend she's your girlfriend. You're not actually touching her.
Yeah, I know, but he's actually pretty disgusting. He hates gay people and stuff. Like he's
Hmm,
like that religious where he hates gay people. He's actually pretty much a piece of shit.
yeah. Huh. Uh, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I didn't watch that.
I didn't really. I might have watched a few episodes of that because I liked what's
Clarissa
her
explains
name?
it all. Oh,
Clarissa
Melissa Joan
explains it all.
Hart.
Melissa Joan Hart. Yeah, I had a thing for her when I was a teenager, but I never really watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It was like a little too girly.
Yeah. Uh, Step by Step. Did you watch
That
that?
was funny.
That was good. And then the cousin live in the driveway in his van or some
He
shit.
lived in a van in the driveway and played guitar. He was kind of like
Yeah.
a fucking dumb metalhead kid.
The stupid surfer kind of, yeah.
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 And Suzanne Summers was the bomb in that. Oh my God. That's like MILF number one.
That was on for 7 years.
I believe it.
Yeah, I remember that was a good one.
Yeah.
Uh, Benson.
I never watched Benson.
So I don't know if it's going to be on this list, but do you remember Mr. Belvedere?
Hmm.
I used to like that. I don't know if it was funny or not, but I used to love that show.
I don't think it was hilarious, but it was just a really good show. I think there was like a lot of like life lesson things in it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that was a good show.
when I was young, it was really good.
Yes,
Uh,
it was.
Boy Meets World.
Eh,
Didn't the girl from like the college years end up doing porn? The redheaded one?
possibly.
I don't remember her name.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Giggity.
That was another one that it was entertaining, but I don't remember it being hilarious.
Yeah, I never laughed my balls off at it.
Perfect Strangers.
That was funny.
Sometimes the world is perfect. Dude,
Don't be ridiculous.
that was funny, but I was
I
also
don't think it would hold up.
I was also 5 years old.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think it would hold up.
no, probably not. Webster.
Buzz and Lottie. Oh, Webster?
Yeah,
That was good.
I I remember watching it, but I don't remember it. Like I know I watched it, but I don't remember the show.
I remember it pretty well. Dude, that was the dad was like actually a former NFL football player, like for real. I remember the wife being really ugly. I'm like, wow, this guy played football, and that's the broad he gets. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't say again howling out loud hilarious, but it was entertaining.
Okay. Uh, just shoot me.
Never watched it.
Yeah, me neither. Uh, oh no, wait, I did. They were in the office. They worked in an office. David Spade was in it.
Yeah, I remember David Spade being in it, but I just never watched it.
I think it was funny.
Could be. David Spade's a funny guy.
It wasn't on. I guess it was on for a decent amount of time, 97 to 2003. So
Yeah,
it's one
that's
of
a
those.
while.
That's that time frame where like I wasn't home a whole lot, but
Right.
did see it occasionally, and I would leave it on. I liked it. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This will be the last one for right now because we'll have to cut it.
Not funny,
No,
really. Maybe in parts,
entertaining.
but really more of a life lesson kind of show. And I did watch it pretty often.
But whenever Uncle Phil would throw DJ Jazzy Jeff out of the house, that was like the funny part.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when Carlton came in with his stupid dance,
Yeah.
listening to Tom Jones, because,
Yeah. All right.
decent.
So we'll have to do a continuation of this.
Yeah. Bookmark that wherever
This is
you're at on
part
that
one.
page there. What's that?
This will be part one.
Yeah.
All
There
right.
we go.
Two
What are some of
metal.
your guys' favorite comedic sitcoms?
Yeah, let us
Comment
know.
below us.
And if we don't get to them on the list, maybe we'll add some in.
Maybe we will.
All right.
Maybe we
All right.
won't.
Yeah, maybe we'll. Later.